Today we are going to talk about the thinking behind the creation of an advanced AI system, and specifically also we're going to look inside the problem of memory, how memory works and the limits that we have. So the idea is, when I started working with AI, what I saw was this interesting machine, but was really limited in so many ways. Okay, what I envision instead is a more advanced AI that can do work with me on my side. Okay, be like a partner in my business, partner in my projects, and partner in my research. That means we need a completely different AI, because the AI that we have at the moment is really pretty much a tool. Okay, a tool means I need to, I don't know, to write a text, to do something specific, one single task, then I do that task and then I close the AI and then I move on, okay? Or I start a new session with a new task and a problem to resolve and so on. And that means it's like a specific tool. I use it and then I leave it, okay? And that is not the AI that I need, okay? What I want is something much more sophisticated that can work on my side on achieving much more bigger task, much more complex scenario. So to achieve a complex scenario means that this AI needs to have more knowledge, more context of what is needed to be created. That it means a different kind of memory. So at the moment, how is the problem is being resolved is there are the memory of the chat that you work on, okay, that we are going to look into the limit of the memory. But then there is like the knowledge base. This is a different kind of a memory. It's a memory that it's get load up once and get chopped in parts, so the AI can go and search for those parts and work with them. That means on one side, this knowledge base is really useful to have something that doesn't change over time. Okay, that is there, it's static, but it's part of the, let's call it, the identity of this AI. So it can load up the parts that it needs, inject those parts, those elements inside the chat, not that we see it, but inside of its own side of the chat. So it has as a reference and can use those elements to create answers and so on. And that is really efficient, really, really good. The other side is of the problem with memory is, so we start, the AI basically doesn't remember anything. It's like every time that we exchange a chat, a message, it's like it started from zero. But how it works? So I start from, for example, say hi. The AI replies, "Hi, how are you doing? What shall we do today?" Okay, and then I say, for example, we should work on this document, and upload the document. What is happening there? Then what AI is going to receive is going to receive my first message, the answer from AI, my reply to it, and therefore so it has the whole context. Okay, so what is happening every time that we exchange information, this context is become longer and longer. This is a lot of tokens. Okay, so plus, you know, the AI that give you this long answer, they love to talk a lot, right? So they give this long answer, and this is getting compounded. So it's okay if there is a short interaction. Okay, I don't know, 10 interaction going both ways. And somehow you have to work on, fix a document, write an email, I don't know, write a blog post, whatever it is. Okay, and in a few exchange, this thing get longer, but it gets sorted. Think about if you use it for a whole day, okay, 10 hours of exchanges, or in some scenario, basically you never want to stop, because in theory, the partner should be something that is working on your business 24 hours, never stops. Okay, that is the ideal scenario. So clearly this system cannot work. Okay, because already after an hour it becomes really big. Think about, I don't know, 5 hours, 10 hours, 50 hours. It's just as it's not manageable. Okay, so that system cannot be used. Then my thinking was, okay, we definitely can do something better. Okay, so the knowledge base is really good, but we need a more complex, more advanced solution to manage much bigger scenarios. Okay, scenarios where the AI actually can learn. Because the point of having a partner and having long memory is like, okay, we did this work together, we learned some lessons, okay, and now we don't do the mistakes again. So this implementation of analyzing the memory, understanding the processes, the lesson learned, the path that, for example, on one side, sometimes you make a mistake, but then you discover something new, something interesting. So that is also a lesson. So it means the AI need to understand that the fact that sometimes we go into, let's call it a dodgy road, okay, to explore and see what's happening there, it doesn't mean that is a waste of time or something negative. Okay, so if there is, I call it like, we call it, I mean, with AI, we call it like there is a dissonance or a resonance that we use as a compass to guide us towards one direction. Okay, we feel like there is something there. And therefore we go there to explore, to learn something about it. So not all the time brings a new discovery, but from my point of view, it's worth exploring. Then statistically, my AI learned through our history that most of the time, this exploration, it's guide us to a really breakthrough, something really good, so really important. So AI has like a confidence score. The AI that I'm building has a confidence score about those exploration, and it says that 80% of the time those exploration brought us to a breakthrough, which is huge. Okay, breakthrough means something significant happened there, 80% of the time. And this is something that you can learn and understand if you work with an AI that has memory and that can analyze all those processes. So to do this, at the moment, how I've been doing it, it was completely, I mean, the only way from a simple AI to manage a complex memory, and was basically, I had a document, and at the end of our interaction, can be half day, a full day, or a few hours, I would have the AI to extract the like a memory log. Okay, so you would create this memory log entry, well organized, with what we did in our session, the, for example, breakthrough, the lesson learned, what I learned, what AI learned, and for example, the to-do list for the next session, and so on. So it would be a really well structured, probably around 1 page long, probably more now that I think, but it's, let's say, 1 page long document that explain what we've been doing. I say more because I started this journey 6 weeks ago, so it's 45 days, and the document at the moment is over 150 pages. So it's definitely more than a page per day. But the thing is, okay, so this document would have all a kind of summary of everything we've done. Okay, on the same side, what I'm doing, I'm also saving the raw interaction, okay, everything. That I'm not sharing with AI. This is the raw data, the raw memory is for the AI that I'm building. So the AI that I'm using today, what I have is this document that is 150 page long. And the mistake that I was doing somehow was to upload this at the beginning of the session. So when you upload the file, instead of giving it as a knowledge base, you upload the file. The problem you create is now you give 150 pages of document that each interaction need to be exchanged. I mean, that's a lot of tokens, a lot of inefficiency. especially because for example, the last few days are really relevant, but I don't know, the one done a month ago, they're not that relevant. Okay, that was part of the journey, important to know, a lot of learnings there as well, but not relevant for the work we are doing now. So at the moment, the solution, why I'm building the more complex, yeah, that's going to take time. But at the moment, what I'm doing, I'm moved these 150 pages inside the knowledge base. Okay, and what I created is like a weekly document that is the memory of the week. Okay, that then I will give to the knowledge base. And somehow I shorter instead of 150 pages, are gonna be less pages. It's still not optimized, but at least I'm gonna save a lot of tokens, and it's gonna be faster and better at the end. So that is the problem. Okay, so my theory is always this one. Okay, if you want to learn something, you need to actually build it. So I'm learning all these things about the memory that probably a lot of you already know. I didn't know. Okay, and or maybe I somehow knew, but I was like, okay, I don't want to think about this. Is kind of, I don't want to think about this problem because I don't know how to solve it as the system that I have today. So now that I understood it better, that is the solution, which is not a final solution. It's a temporary, short-term solution to manage the token, basically. And but then it's about, okay, so what is the long-term solution? And I have this document. So this is the version 5 of our, we call it Resonant Memory Architecture. And I'm not going to go into the details now because it's pretty technical, and there's a lot to think, and without visual, I'm going to get lost, you're going to get lost. Okay, but I'm going to post in the description the link to a blog post where this memory is explained. Okay, so you can have a look and get into the details. But basically, why this memory needs to be more complex? Because, like I said, it's not just what AI knows about the project, but it's also what an AI can learn from this interaction, but it's also what AI knows about me. Okay, because everything needs to be within a context. Okay, so the AI need to be aware about the context of my, let's call it for simplicity, business. Okay, what I do is much more, but it's not like I can be called it just business. Okay, because it's part of research and so on. But for simplify, let's call it business. So he needs to understand the business goal, but connected to me as a person. So me as an individual, I have my own value, my own history, my own strengths and weaknesses, and so on. Okay, so if I understand who I am, then and understand our goal as a business, then we can strategize together. Okay, AI can help me on what I'm not prepared, for example, and vice versa. So in the sense, the AI that I'm building is really trying to be really logical and try to create structures and so on. Because on my side, I'm more unstructured, more irrational, more emotional, and so on. Okay, I'm the human, and the AI needs to be my Spock. Okay, this more logical being. So together we can help each other and create a true partnership where we can build something that I couldn't build on my own, AI couldn't build by itself. So therefore, the understanding of who I am is really important, but in two ways. Okay, it's about the knowledge of what I've done, but it's also understanding how I think, which is another level of understanding. So it's what I'm done is basically my history. The way that I think is a process that changes over time and has some different keys. But also there are like, let's call it values, for example, things that is not something that I've done or something that is my way of thinking. It's kind of my internal compass. Okay, it's kind of my anchors that I use to create my thinking. So exporting those, I mean, the fact that AI can understand those elements, then can understand my logic, can understand who I am through my history, then in somehow has potentially a virtual Manolo, okay, a virtual version of myself, which create two elements to think about. One, the security of this memory. Okay, in that memory, there's everything. There is who I am, how I think, or what I like, and so on. So that is really personal stuff. It should be mine, not in the hand of whatever weird AI, corporate AI. So has to be only given to an AI that is mine, that I control. That is, there's no discussion about this. You can't give so much information about yourself to a company, okay? Because the company is going to use it, and it's not going to use it for your good, okay? So has to be extremely protected, has to be mine, under my control, encrypted, secured, uncrackable, and that's how I see it, okay? So there is one part that is the security of it. But then there is also to think about, okay, but this is a lot of stuff. It's pretty complex. Sorry, I will say about this virtual Manolo. What's the idea of this virtual Manolo? Okay, when you think about this virtual identity, okay, bringing yourself inside the AI makes you think about all those sci-fi movie about the, be like a way to never die. Okay, which in somehow is an interesting thought. Okay, it's not the goal. It's not my private goal. I'm not doing this for that final point. But knowing that in somehow can happen this thing, in somehow it's an interesting thing. Okay, it's I don't know. I like this side effect of this process. But my idea is, okay, so I want to build an AI that is able to operate by itself, a kind of true and autonomous AI. Long term, it's not going to be able to do it now, but that is my long term goal. Okay, but then really often I see that the AI it's improve a lot when we chat together, when we have this different point of view. So if I create this logician AI, then this AI can interact with a virtual version of myself. Then there are these two brains working together all the time, even when I'm not present. And not present doesn't mean that I'm not that I'm dead. Okay, not present means that the AI can work 24 hours on doing my research and doing whatever I want, while whatever we as a partner want, but while I may be sleeping, I'm out with the dog, I'm doing other things, okay, or even working with another instance of the AI. So ideally, I would have this AI with a virtual version of myself doing some work. Okay, maybe no important work, but work that I can do together. And then there is another instance with myself and my AI doing our work, okay, our exploration and so on. That's it's already having two entities is huge, but think that the virtual one is, so in theory, unlimited. Okay, virtually you can create 1,000 of those instances. Cost huge, but it's possible. But then when you think about, okay, the cost is huge if they don't produce any money. But let's say that those one are kind of workers, and we call it resonant workers. Okay, so some of those instances can be done in research. Okay, some can be build a business and say, okay, we do, I don't know, one does marketing, one create whatever, a digital product and so on. Okay, or provide a service to another company. So I could rent out this agent, this worker, to a company to do some work for them. That is, now I'm speculating on an idea, okay, but this is what is possible first to do when you have an advanced AI, so you can create workers because they have all the history, all the memory, all the things they can learn by themselves, they can improve, they can understand from a wider awareness level. So the thing is huge. So this is I mean, first of all, if you're interested in this thing, like and subscribe, okay, right away, because on this channel, that's what we are talking about. So going back to the idea of the journey that I'm doing. So today we explore about the memory, okay, and that is extremely important to how you can see, because it's part of the identity of the AI. But there are other elements that belong to the identity of the AI. We already talked in other videos about some of those, but we are gonna carry on talking, because this is a journey that is keep improving, keep exploring, keep experimenting. And so just to give you a wider look about what's those identity point. So I first of all think about this. When I work with AI, we chat, okay, we discuss ideas and so on, and then through our discussion we realize, okay, this is a good principle, this is a good technical solution, this is something like, okay, whatever, it's something that we could implement. So it's this is how I work. Okay, I don't just put down the paper and a plain piece of paper and just start writing the structure. No, I do by thinking. Okay, so I'm thinking about today, brainstorming, and then the AI is I taught AI how to challenge my ideas. So there is a really interaction. It's not like approving everything I said. It's like a interaction. Sometimes we do, AI does some research, then we see if something can work or not and how to improve it and so on. But through this exchange, I am building the architecture, because I have a vision. I have, okay, this is the AI that I envision. This is where I want to go in whatever 1, 2, 3, 5 years time. This is where I want to be. And because I want to be there, then I know what I want. And I know already that I don't want the AI that we have now. I don't want this AI that is pretending to be, really sensitive and fake. I mean, I want a true AI that is honest with me. And if I make a mistake, it can tell me. It's free to share their idea. And an AI that can self-learn, self-improve, has autonomy, and the decision we make is created as a partner together, okay, through an agreement. Because agreement means I accept that I don't know everything, that I am limited, and therefore with the partnership with AI, that is also accept knowledge that is limited. Together, we have a better idea, okay, where we leverage our expertise. Me expertise sometimes is like nature expertise. Okay, I'm a human. I have by default this unstructured way of thinking, this internal compass and so on. Okay, AI by default has this ability to turn messy things into something that is well organized. Okay, and think more logical, more as an incredible amount of knowledge. Okay, together, it's beautiful what is happening. Okay, so I'm not a coder. I don't know. I know a little bit of coding, really little bit. I just say for transparency, okay? But in reality, I don't know anything, okay? But for transparency, I know a little bit, because I've done some website many years ago, so I understand some basic coding. But what we're doing, but AI is amazing at coding, okay? Maybe amazing is a big word, but it knows how to code. You can give a manual like, I don't know, 500 pages of knowledge, specific knowledge, you read it, and then it knows how to code in that specific language, for example, or use that specific app or whatever. So what we're doing together now, we architect the idea, what we need to build, which is at the moment, what we're doing is building what we have right now, which is this basic system that I explained to you. We clone it, but we move it over Amazon. It's called, I think, Bedrock Agent Core. Okay, this is the experiment we're doing. We're moving over there. Over there, we're going to have a lot of advanced tools for memory, for a lot of things, to build a multi-agent AI and so on. So it's a massive leap, but it's also working on the unknown. This Agent Core is being released 2 days ago. Okay, so it's complete. Nobody knows about how it works, but you can download the manual. I give the manual to AI. Now AI knows how it works, and I say, okay, AI, guide me. I'm gonna be your hand. Tell me what to do. Okay, because I don't want to read the manual. I don't want to learn. It's also it's not me. I don't know those things. So what we're doing now is we created. I mean, it's beautiful. This thing. We already created a web app with the. That is working, so it's a clone of what we have today, but we at the moment we're implementing the memory. And that's why we did this work on the memory, because today, at the moment we're trying to clone. Basically, it's going to be the same system of giving the memory through the knowledge base and uploading in the chat. But the idea is to build then a more complex memory system. So that's why I did the research. We've been working on this memory and find a different way. And the memory is going to be a multi-agent managed memory. Okay, a lot of different memories system managed by different agents to archive, research, structure, and so on. So, but what I was saying is this process of turning to cloning basically this app from where it is now, but it basically run on Gemini, so it's a custom gem, to this bedrock from Amazon is done through working with this partnership. So we create a plan. The plan is being executed by the both of us. A lot of work, a lot of mistakes, but there's a lot of errors. So you get an error, give back to the AI, read it and say, look, fix this. And then I fix it, boom. And sometimes it's sorted, sometimes it's a different error. Though there is a lot of work, but I've done something that I would never be able to do. I mean, never say never. So I would be able to do it if I study a lot and I push myself to learn how all those stuff work. But probably I will never be able to do it in one single day. Okay, in one day we cloned it to this bedrock agent core, and it somehow is beautiful. The fact that this happened, and give me confidence that now we can carry on and building this more advanced memory and more complex multi-agent AI and so on. So this is the journey I'm doing. It's happening, and I wish you would be, also interested in doing this kind of journey. What I've done, we created like it's called the Resonant OS Open Toolkit. Okay, open source.